Hi, everyone. Welcome to our newest episode of our Healthy Love Success Series. I'm Bari, Lyman, and I'm so excited to be here with you on this beautiful Sunday morning. So today I wanted to talk to you about a really important topic, a topic about what a lot of people go through, both men and women, where we feel like, but I still love him. You know what I mean? You're done with a relationship. You've been out of it, yet it is still plaguing you. You think that you're done, but there's a part of you that is not done. And today's episode is inspired by an email that someone sent me asking for help. So I wanted to talk with you about this today. And so Sunday is a fabulous time to talk about this because also we just came into fall. It's beautiful here in South Florida and in other parts of the country and the world. Winter is coming and the end of the year is coming. And so it is an amazing time to start planning and start thinking about what you really want to make happen. Michael and we're in the middle of a detox. We are detoxing from a lot of things. Last time we did this was about 8 years ago, and it solved some really serious health problems. And now we're eating only fruits and vegetables and really making them amazing, along with herbs, and all this old stuff comes up. And after it comes up and out, you just feel like so energized and so amazing. And it's a blessing to be able to do this with my husband, with my partner. And that's what I wish for you, to have someone to dream with and plan with. Okay, so let's get started here. So here's the question that this person asked. She said, I've been in this relationship for 5 years and he dumped me 4 times in a very disrespectful way. And I still love him. What's wrong with me? Why do I love him while he's already dating another woman and this woman calls him babe, and it's not even a month after they met. And that could be so incredibly heart-wrenching, heartbreaking. We've all been through it. We've all been through breakups when we want to be in this situation. We want to be loved. We want to feel understood. We want to feel connected. You want to have someone to dream with and plan with, and have someone to hold you and love you no matter what, no matter through the good times and the bad times, someone you can count on. Because so often we get into relationships and we say, oh, but it looks so good in the beginning. What is that about? We see things a certain way and then they just don't turn out. And then when it's over, we struggle. So we want the other slide. We want connection. We want real intimacy for a lifetime, no matter what. Someone that has your back, a conscious relationship, not this. This is more like what we've experienced in the old paradigm: fighting, disappointment, feeling alone, misunderstood, and ultimately breaking up because we find ourselves with people who are emotionally unavailable. This is so much like my relationships in the past, before I met my husband, before the transformation. You're with someone and you're just wishing it would work. You're hoping it'll work, but it definitely does not work. Emotionally unavailable people. And then the relationship ends and it's over, like in our example. But we say, what is wrong with me? Why am I still thinking about this person? We're still struggling, wondering how could I be this kind of a person? The relationship was terrible and it's over, yet I'm still attached, yet I'm still obsessing. And how does this play out in real life? How does it play out? We overeat. Who here overeats, right? Emotional eating. We shop to distract ourselves. We obsess about the person. You ever sneak into an ex's social media account and want to see what's doing and what's happening? And then we try to negotiate and logic it out. Like, why? What if I were different? Maybe it still would have worked out. Or we get angry and then we talk about this person and then when we see other people in love and getting married or in relationships, then we get jealous. And then the other way it causes us to not be, to be not done is we're not fully present at work. Can anyone relate to that, where you're not fully present at work because you're thinking about the person, you're thinking about that you don't have what you want, you're thinking it's not fair, and then we're not fully present with our friends, we're not fully present with our kids. Yeah, when we have this kind of obsession over something in the past, we wonder what is wrong. And what's wrong is that you're not complete. Okay, you may be thinking, but I am complete, but you're not. Because if you were complete, you wouldn't be thinking about the person. You wouldn't be obsessing. You wouldn't be in regret. You wouldn't be thinking about that person when you have nothing else going on. You wouldn't be. So getting complete in the way that I'm talking about is something completely different than conventional wisdom. So here's the thing. There is a part of us there are two parts of us. There's the part of you that is successful. At work, you got certified, you went to college, you got a career, or whatever you're doing in your life. You're maybe running a business, raising kids, and for that, you know what you're doing. You totally know what you're doing. You know the steps, and you do it. But when it comes to love and intimacy, we're not like that. Right? We're not like that. There's another side to us, and that's the side, the part of us that's not complete, because the adult and the successful part of you that does other things is like, well, I'm definitely complete. I'm done. This person was not good to me. It didn't work out. But then there's another part, and that part is like a little kid, and that little kid's like, oh, but it was so good in the beginning. It wasn't, I remember all the good times. And then you reminisce about the good times. And then we say, like what this example is, but I still love him. So that is really a disconnect. It's disconnected. It's irrational, right? Because it's operating from the past. It's over. And the thing is, guys, it's not about time. So conventional wisdom says that time heals all wounds. Time heals all wounds, right? It's been a year, you haven't seen that person. It's been 5 years. It's been 10 years. You're not physically with the person. But you're not complete. Because if you were, you wouldn't be thinking about the person. You wouldn't be saying, oh, I still love them. And even if you're not saying, oh, I still love them, you might be operating from a place of disempowerment. On a Saturday night, you have nothing going on, and it's your anniversary with this person, or the day you met, or some reminder of a song or a book, and then you're like, oh, I wonder what it could have been, or what it would have been, or maybe it wasn't so bad. And then you start to go into this cycle. Well, I want to tell you right now, time does not heal all wounds. How do we know? Because you're not complete. You're not complete. And I have clients in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that didn't even realize that they weren't complete from something that happened when they were 20, a broken engagement. And you don't want to operate like that. And I have to say, smart, successful, self-aware people fall into this trap. They do. Because here's the thing. Knowing what's not working, like knowing, oh, I still think about this ex, oh, but it's no big deal. Or I still, I'm not really dating, or I'm just working on myself, or all these things that we do. knowing that you're not dating, knowing all the things that we're going to talk about in a moment doesn't fix it. It doesn't change anything. And we know that time doesn't heal all wounds. What it does is it just pushes it out into the distance. But then you remember, you have a memory, and you're not complete. So that is why we always move away from conventional thinking. So here's the deal. Let's talk now about why we obsess over love. Why do we obsess over relationships that weren't the ones, that weren't that good, right? And why are we not complete? Well, the first reason you're not complete is because you really want love. You want love, you want things to be good, you want things to be nice, you want to be appreciated. And again, we make excuses. We make excuses for, oh, but it was so good in the beginning. You know, we make excuses for our own behavior that we're staying stuck in the past. And then we go into this la la land, fantasy land. And ultimately, doing that is like barking up the wrong tree, because if it were meant to be, it would have been, right? So you're not integrated. There's a part of you, again, the part of you that knows what to do, that is successful at work, that raises kids, that helps other people, that's involved with organizations and charity in your church or your synagogue. You know what to do. And the way you operate in those things is powerful. So do you think that in love and intimacy, like you're going to have success operating this way? You know, not dating, avoiding, hating dating sites, thinking you need to move, feeling incomplete from the past, but telling yourself, no, I am complete. See, that's the trap. If you were complete and operating from a high level, then you would be integrated. That means your adult side, this adult part of you that goes to work and does well, would be integrated with this part of you that's like a little kid that's like, oh, it's okay to think about him or obsess about him or about her, because this happens for men and women. So I have clients, I'll give you an example, a client, Rebecca, who I got to interview today. You're going to meet her in the next few weeks. She's dating with clarity. She's loving dating. But in the past, she was like hating dating and was avoiding it at all costs because it was not working and painful. And she didn't know how to do it, even though she's a successful business owner. And trust me, she doesn't run her business the way she runs her dating life. Her dating life, she avoided because on some level, she didn't feel like she deserved it. So once she integrated her head and her heart, right, that wounded part of her, but really integrated, she was able to become an empowered dater. And she's meeting amazing men who are marriage-minded, and she's good in her skin, and she's happy and expressing and not in fantasy land. I was in fantasy land for many, many years, dating narcissists, emotionally unavailable people. I was not integrated. No way. The situations I put myself into were, oh my gosh, great at work, but not when it came to love. I would literally go into relationships with people that were totally inappropriate. I had no plan. I didn't know what I needed in a relationship. And it was all like chemical attraction and mystery and excitement and disaster. So your head and your heart are not integrated. Now, for most of us, not all, but for most of us, we did not experience healthy modeling. We didn't see like great examples of healthy love from our parents, right? What did we see? That they were not happy in their marriage, or maybe your mother was critical of you, or maybe your father was not around. Maybe your father wasn't around. And this is a generational cycle that happens, by the way. And in therapy, we analyze for years about your parents and why that happens. And we talk about it. We talk about all the past relationships, and we go into depth, and we know we're repeating patterns, but that doesn't change it. That's the big thing here. It doesn't change it. So when we did not experience healthy modeling from our parents or from our communities, and we've had traumas, then what happens is we want to unconsciously correct it. We want to correct it. And so what happens is, we'll avoid love before we get hurt, or we'll be in relationships with people and want to fix them or manipulate them to show them how wonderful we are. And then we become helpers and fixers and people pleasers and love junkies. I'm a former love junkie. I was trying to get love, but in all the wrong places. And then we start to think, well, I don't know, if I lose 10 pounds, if I were thinner, then maybe it would have worked out, or maybe it will work out if I lose weight, or maybe if I, make a little bit more money. And then we start to think about the past, maybe that really was the best I could get. And if you start thinking that way, you start to feel warped. How can you move forward when you're mentally kind of involved with the past? You're in the past, you're negotiating, and you're thinking back, and you're not feeling good about yourself, and that's obsession. And you say, who am I to want something better? And so with these healthy examples, it doesn't matter that you didn't see these healthy examples, because we can create those. It doesn't matter what the past is, but when your parents had a difficult marriage and they didn't love you and hug you and kiss you and encourage you, we learned different ways of coping, to be perfectionists, to be people pleasers, and all of those things. And then we're recreating the familiar past with our traumas and our disappointments. And we're literally stepping into that. That keeps us from getting complete, because we're very focused on trying to almost fix and unwind the past, but the past is gone and it didn't work, and the person didn't meet your needs, and so it becomes this whole swirl. And at the end of the day, what we all do is we recreate. So if we're afraid of getting hurt, maybe because our mother didn't, give us the warmth and affection that we needed. We don't really care why, but she just didn't. And then we feel there's something wrong with us. And then what do? We attract people in who, and this happens online, offline, this is just a vibration, it's energy. And then we're attracting people who literally will hurt us, will not appreciate us. I think there's something wrong with me. Then we attract people who validate that. And then we wear these rose-colored glasses. Many of you have heard me speak of rose-colored glasses. So rose-colored glasses is when you're not really seeing. It's like you go into things or you end things because you're so clear, but you're not done. And then we fantasize oh, maybe he would have changed. Or maybe if I were more patient and loving, oh, then maybe it would have been okay. I know for me, I stepped into relationships that, oh my gosh, someone healthier would definitely not have done that, right? Because it would have been oh, this is not a match to my vision, and I'm not feeling the way I think I should feel or I want to feel. So then we wait and we again negotiate, and we're in fantasy land, these rose-colored glasses. If you ran your business the way you do your dating life, what would that look like? So imagine you're a mortgage broker, and you're, in order to create the income that you want, you need to have a certain number of valid people who can get a mortgage. You need to close a certain number of loans. And so would you just spend lots and lots of time with someone who can't get a loan or has bad credit, or someone who bugs you all the time and doesn't get the paperwork in on time? Would you run around and just wish and hope the person were gonna be able to get a loan? No, you wouldn't do that. You would say, I'm sorry, Joe, listen, you don't have the income for it. So here's what I need you to get your income up to. So rework that. And when you can, come back to me, we can get a loan. or borrow money from someone else, or refi this, or, you would have a plan. You wouldn't be in rose-colored glasses. So how to fix it? How to fix not being complete? You got to get into reality about yourself and your value. You deserve love, period. And the relationship didn't work. And in my 90-day program, we work through this from soup to nuts so that you're done. You are complete. There's limited things that we can do in a quick training like this, but you must be in reality about your value. If you're not in your value, 100%, not, oh, I think I'm in my value. If you're in your value, you're in your value. Then everything in your life is working, including intimacy. If not, you're saying, oh, well, maybe I'm not lovable, or maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I don't have what it takes to find this person, or maybe it's not in the cards for me this lifetime, or maybe God forgot me. Trust me, God did not forget you. It's just that we haven't solved the root of the problem and you don't have a plan. So the second piece to know in order to fix it is you have to know and be super clear that the part of you that misses the person, or that thinks about them, or that goes to their Facebook page, or snoops around, or cares that they're in another relationship, that is the foundation of the problem. The part of you that says, what's wrong with me? Or why am I not with someone? Or how come he's with someone? That is a part of you that is not in your value. That's the problem. When you say, what's wrong with me? Why can't I let go? That's the problem. That is the problem. So even if you've analyzed that again, 5 or 10 years in therapy about your past and your parents and your history, you're still in the past. You're still in the past. So it's not solving the problem. It's getting smarter about why you have all these incompletions, why this is going on. And it doesn't get you to be marriage ready, analyzing it in therapy. Now, again, I love therapy. You've heard me say this before, those of you who have been following the series, is that what I needed for therapy is I needed someone that would validate me and that would listen to me. And that was great. And I just needed someone to talk to that was healthy. But at the end of the day, they couldn't help me to make a plan to find love or to transcend from that place. So I just became an expert about what wasn't working in my life. So the next piece of this is you have to get real and future focused. Future focused. So what that means is that you're unknowingly operating from the past, from your childhood, from your traumas, from your disappointments, from when you got rejected when you were 9, when your mom was critical. And you're playing it out too with these incompletions because you don't really know what you need in a relationship. Because if you knew what you needed, what would happen? You would have it. You would have it. It's like you get in the car and you're trying to go someplace, but you don't have it punched into the GPS. Well, you kind of know the vicinity. You know where you don't want to be. But when you have a GPS and you're future focused and you're totally clear about your needs in a relationship, what that looks like, the steps to getting there, then you're there and you're totally done and complete with the past because you're future focused. Like you don't even, it doesn't even enter your mind. You're not there. You're like, that was not for me. It didn't work out. And that was it. That's being future focused. And the next piece of that is to literally get super duper uber committed to creating a new future. You got to be committed, because that's the biggest thing I can share with you is that the people who create healthy love, all of these, my husband put this together. Isn't that cool? We're building our new studio. That all of those married people and those people that are in the middle of the program and getting results, they got uber, super duper committed to changing their life. I interviewed another client that you're going to meet in a couple of weeks, Brenda, 66 years old. And she was sick of chasing men or begging for love. And she was super, uber, duper committed to getting it done. And she did it. So commitment happens first. First, you make the commitments, and then everything else follows from there. Because when you're committed to something, your world starts to change, and you're willing to leave your comfort zone, and you're willing to be courageous, future focused, instead of stuck in the past. Because the past is not a good place to be, operating from the past, because possibility lives in the future that you create when you're fully present in the moment. That's why they call the present a gift. So that's where you need to be. And the most important thing to get complete and how to fix it is to authentically get into a space where you genuinely love yourself. When you are the focus, when your vision is the focus, that is key and critical. And sometimes we think we love ourselves, but as I discussed, we don't. And that's what needs to happen to really, really get complete and into reality. And we are not doing any band-aids here. Like a lot of things that you watch and listen to, they tell you to visualize, and that's it. It'll happen when it happens. It doesn't. Getting complete doesn't happen when it happens. So there are no band-aids here. Wishing it'll happen, dreaming of it happening, praying to God it'll happen without leaving your comfort zone, without a plan. It doesn't happen. It can't happen. How can something happen without action? Without steady, committed action and the right steps on top of the right mindset to get complete. Because getting complete is just the first piece of it. So I am here supporting you in getting what you want and giving you the kinds of information and the way of thinking that is going to get you there. But it's not a band-aid giving you this, try this dating site, or try this, or play this game with men. That is never, ever going to work. Manipulation doesn't work. There are so many myths out there that you have to become more feminine. You don't need to be more feminine. You're already feminine. What you need to do is get out of your own way, because the right person is going to love you just the way you are. Okay, so that leads me to a special announcement. You guys have asked for it, and I am putting this together. Some of you have said that you can't afford my high intensity 90-day mentorship program that is chock full of getting what you want. And you ask for something lower priced that you could afford that will shift and rock your world. So I've come up with that. And I'm just announcing it today. There's nothing formal, but it's Healthy Love Success 2020. So if you're someone who's been settling, you feel like you've settled, or you've avoided love altogether, or you're finding that online you're meeting low quality people who disappoint you, or you feel like your life is on hold, or you're wondering why the people you want don't want you, and they don't get back to you, and you're stuck in this vicious cycle. And if you're trying to find a partner and you really want it, but you feel like stuck and you've been just watching videos and reading different books and following different things on YouTube, then this is for you. If you're someone who knows that there's a better way to finding love, that it really could be a clear path, then this program is for you. So what I want to know, so basically here's the long and short of it. In this program, it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks, and it's going to be all about really breaking through these obsessions and believing. Sometimes you don't believe healthy love is possible. You want it, but you don't believe it's possible. And many of you are carrying these incompletions from the past. We're going to get you complete. Many of you say, oh, I'm fine and I love myself. But there's a part of you that doesn't, because if you're praying and you're asking and you're noticing maybe it's not on the cards for me, then you're not there. We're going to do some powerful self-love work about dating yourself, what that really looks like to be laser focused, ready for love and intimacy. You're going to discover what you really need in a relationship. Most people don't know what they need in a relationship, and you're going to get future focused, and we're going to make a plan. This is the plan. So what I want to know from you is if you're interested in a lower entry program that is a mirror to the really deep mentorship program that many of you said you can't afford. It's going to be in the neighborhood of $1,497, something like that, $1,497, and there'll be a payment plan, and there's going to be training every week, and there's going to be slides, and we're going to have a Facebook group, and you're gonna make this happen. You're really going to make it happen, and finally understand readiness and be ready. So what I'd like to do is it's going to start in about 2.5, 3 weeks, and around October 23rd, and I'm going to be rolling it out, but I want to know your interest level. So if you're interested, leave a comment below and say, I'm interested. And we will get with you and get you all the information about what it's going to be and all of that. But before I make fancy pages and all that stuff, I'm going to be finding out who wants to do it. And we're going to create an amazing experience that I've never done before like this. It's going to be live. I'm going to be answering your questions. It's going to be really powerful. All right, guys. So listen, that's it. Let's get you complete. Let's get you to the finish line. So if you're interested in it, leave a comment below or PM us. We're going to see it. And I'm cheering for you. What can I say? Healthy love is your birthright, and you can have it. And every Sunday, we launch another episode of Healthy Love Success Series for you so that you could have the powerful, transformational, practical information to get you there. So again, if you like this and you're interested in the program, leave your comments below. If you have friends, invite them to the group so they can get this information. And I have some amazing things in store for you over the next 2 weeks. So you're going to meet, we have great topics, and you're going to meet some of the people that are in the process of making it happen. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.